Hello, I wanted to try to explain where I'm seeing some potential temple journey or sacred journey or a journey back to the presence of God hidden um, within the Christmas story. The Christmas story where Mary and Joseph um, travel to Bethlehem, to where she's ultimately um, has gives birth to baby Jesus. So I like to, maybe I can draw it out here. If I shared my screen here, do we see? Okay. So again, if the objective is to get back to the presence of God, that's the objective. Yet here we are separated from his presence, right? We all know the story where Adam fell, right? Here we are separated from the presence of God. We want to make that journey back to him. Okay. Now, if I overlay the Christmas story or the journey that Joseph and Mary took when she was pregnant with Christ, they were on a journey as well, right? And the place that they were going to, of course, was Bethlehem. Fix something here. Okay. Bethlehem. Okay, that's where they were going. Now, what I love, now, first of all, is when you look up the meaning of Bethlehem, that means house of bread. So, house of bread. Now, bread is something that we eat, something that we consume, something that gives us energy, something that gives us life, something that allows us to live, really. We need bread. We need food, right? So I love the symbolism of our Savior there, house of bread or house of the Lord might be another way that we can think about it, right? The house of the Lord. So here we have Joseph, Mary on the way to the house of bread or to the house of the Lord. Um, on the way to pay taxes. And I might come back to that in a minute, right? So here we have Joseph. I'm a terrible drawer, and that's going to be part of the fun, right? Let's say he's got a leash, and this is going to be the worst animal you've ever seen. And of course, we got Mary sitting upon it, and she got a big belly, and she's riding that donkey. Okay. So here they are on a journey to Bethlehem, to the house of the Lord, to the house of bread to pay taxes. Okay. Now, who's leading this journey? Well, of course, Joseph, right? Joseph's leading this journey. Okay. Mary's on the donkey, and Christ is, of course, there. So they make this journey. We all know the rest of that story. Okay. But let's take for a minute. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's think about, let's say with this symbolism, instead of the baby being Christ, let's say the baby was you and me, right? We are in the womb, right? And instead of Joseph leading the way, Christ. Okay. So Christ is leading us to Bethlehem. Okay. And we are in the womb. Now, when we're in the womb and we're babies, we are utterly incapable of doing pretty much anything, right? We are 100% dependent upon our mother, upon our father, upon, or we're gone, right? And in other words, there's no way we're making a journey on our own. We're babies, right? Yet, um, yet we have Christ who, in a way, becomes our father, right? So Joseph was the adopted father of Christ, okay? Now, and Joseph is the one that led Christ to the house of the Lord. Now, if Joseph was the adopted father of Christ, are we not supposed to adopt Christ as our own father? As we adopt Christ to become our fathers, sticking with the symbolism here, he carries us up the mountain, takes us to the house of the Lord, or back to the presence of God, okay, to where we will ultimately see the face of God, right? I love the symbolism of a woman giving birth because it's, Mary made this journey, and after going through these struggles of um, in her life, right, and symbolically represented by her giving birth, as she went through the struggles, the reward was seeing the face of God, right? The reward of going through that birth or that pain, the reward was seeing the face of God. So as we're on our own journey and as we adopt Christ, uh, symbolically to be, as we adopt Christ to be our Savior, right? He takes us to the house of bread. Now, that journey will not be easy, right? And we will have to go through labor, so to speak, just like Mary went through labor when she was given birth. So as we go through this journey, and we will have to go through our own labor, right? It's hard sometimes to do what's right, to keep all the commandments and try to stay close to God, right? But as we make this struggle, the ultimate gift is number one, that we made that journey in the first place. And number two, that just like a baby that's newly born, they get to see the face of their mother and their father. So as we go through this struggle uh, and we rely on Christ, that the ultimate reward will be seeing the face of God. Right? So I like to think of the story of Mary and Joseph um, as a journey to the house of the Lord, or the journey to God, to where we will see his face. Now, coming back to what I talked about taxes, now the reason why they went to the house of the Lord, or the house of bread, or Bethlehem, was to pay the taxes. Now, if you and I symbolically are the one that is now being carried to the house of the Lord, well, who's paying your taxes? Right? Well, obviously, if we're babies, we're again incapable of paying that tax. So Joseph paid that tax, and for us, Christ pays that tax. And once again, another gift of grace, another gift from God, that he carries us up there, first of all, and he pays our taxes so that we're right with the law, so we can make that sacred journey. I love the symbolism of the Christmas story. When you think about it, maybe this will give you a couple different angles that you can think about it in, as if you are making that journey yourself, in your own life. So I hope some of this made sense. And that's it.